All right, we're recording.
We are recording?
Yep.
Okay, let me take my seat. It's good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. All right.
Take a sip of coffee.
Okay. Cheers to the third here.
Yep, third. Yep. All right, so episode 3.
We're practically famous.
We're practically famous already. I think we've got like 14 views on YouTube. It's pretty awesome. 3 subscribers. 2 of them are our moms. It's awesome. No.
Dude, I was surprised how fast it did go up. I mean, we're only talking, it's over 300.
But it's still exciting.
It's very exciting. You think about 300 people in this town.
Yeah.
If you sat 300 people in an auditorium, I'd be like, wow, all those people listen to us?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would like to see the retention. Like I said, let's start looking at that.
Yeah.
But everyone I knew, I could tell how long they listened. For most of them, it was all of it because they brought stuff up at the end.
Oh yeah, nice, nice. That's pretty
The sound, I mean, the sound. I definitely like some microphones.
I think we're gonna work on microphones this week. I got a camera's pretty good.
I am a mumbler and a low talker.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't help with a deep voice, so it just like that just like muffles whatever hot. It just muffles it all in.
You might look at some.
Well, we have a guy. We have a guy that we're going to talk to about production.
Yeah, apparently we have a couple guys that could possibly do some things. So yeah, we're gonna be resourceful here.
But later on, you got the production table right there, and you got the
Behind the scenes, backstage stuff. You know,
but they'll have to set it up so that it's mobile, and that so that we have it set up for the boat because we'll be doing a boat, duck blinds, so stuff that like we can take on the go too. So 2 sides of the production.
Yeah. I definitely would like to. I know we've talked about doing different areas. I definitely would like to do that. But anyway, week recap. How was your work week?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you, I've been feeling a lot better at work.
Yeah.
You know, getting
No
stuff
stress?
done. It's been a lot better. I have. First off, my project manager, Rihanna, I have her like doing more of what I had hired her to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not messing her day up with all my stupid stuff.
Yep.
Number one, she's in way more control, especially like the scheduling stuff that like I just say, look, you do it. I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
Like,
Tell me where to be, when to be.
If she yells at me about this, I say, okay, well then I never do that. Like you take over that, and that way like you're in full control. You don't have to ask me what we're doing. You know, just treat me like a dummy and tell me where to go.
Yeah.
So
Just
that's
like
that's
an athlete.
Yeah.
That's how athletes
exactly. Like if I go left, I'm going right. Let's dumb it down.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're like paid by numbers right now. So that's been really nice. I got to we're doing the painting at Barclays. So I always enjoy,
Nice.
which is crazy I enjoy it now, but I do enjoy painting because it's like I go in there like, I don't have to make something, I don't have to build nothing,
Nice.
I don't have to worry about square, I don't have to do a bunch of measurements, a bunch of tools,
Yeah.
I can just get after it, do some thinking and get a workout in.
I think sometimes, some of our jobs or our businesses are so complicated or take up so much bandwidth in your mind. So
Sleeping with it.
Yeah, exactly. So then when you get a something to do, a project like painting that's more or less mindless, you're welcoming it. You're like, yeah, give me that.
Yes.
Just fucking, I can shut my mind off, let it wander. You know, more or less, you can't fuck it up too bad. You know what I mean? Nobody's dying on the operating table while you're painting. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? It's kind of like rough carpentry. If I don't like it, I can go back over it. Like a board, I can take it out. You know what I mean? No, it's good. And this is actually this Friday kind of marks a landmark and something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and that is to not work on Fridays, but for me not to be on the job site laboring because. Fridays is just going to be estimates and the paperwork that it's so hard to do.
Yeah.
Because people call up and, I'm very well trained in sales. So, that was my first background for even touch the hammer. I was doing sales, you know. So I know the importance of when someone calls in, like you only got a small window of that, the ether's burning here. Like get there, give them a price and let's go.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is I'm so gung-ho, I'm like, what do you want to do? Done. Let's go tomorrow 8 a.m. But the problem is now I'm off the job site. Even though it's 8 a.m., it's about the earliest I can get somebody to get me there, like 8 a.m. I have one at 7:30 today, which is great. But then I'm not back until I talk for an hour. and I'm not back to job site till 9:30, so it's almost 10 o'clock before I start. I'm like, this has got to stop, because now I've gotten a little bit busier.
Yeah.
So now if it's every day, you're telling me I'm not starting a job until 10 o'clock, so it's not possible. So
I can't do that.
Fridays, if people can't meet me on a Friday, I'd assume it's like Thailand. It would self-correct. They didn't want me anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, so
yeah.
if they're willing to wait for me to Friday because they don't understand I'm on the job.
Yeah.
I am the owner operator.
Right.
So
right.
please wait for me on a Friday. I'll hit you up on a Friday.
And 99% of people are fine with that.
They're fine with that.
Yeah,
And
nothing's going to change in a couple days.
Since COVID, man, and most people, I don't even know how jobs work anymore because everyone's home.
Yeah.
But a lot of my customers are just home, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people,
Yeah.
one of them now is they work from home.
Yeah, working remotely.
I spend a lot of time with customers anymore.
Yeah.
A lot of time.
That's good though.
Yeah.
I think that's good. I think like that's one of the good things that came out of COVID is like everybody realized like, man, we don't need to be in an office. Like I could do this here.
Yeah.
And if you're like a decent human being, you're going to be more productive, right? Because you're cutting out hours of travel, hours of transition time,
Yep.
you know, and all that jazz. You're going to be more productive. And the other side of that is, if I have X, Y, Z to do today, and I know the sooner I get it done, the sooner I'm done, then I'm going to bust my ass to get it done and have the rest of my day, whatever I want to do.
I've always said that about 8-hour work week in an office. Like,
Yeah.
everyone is in there slow playing it.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah,
I think with
absolutely.
COVID, that building, I would think that it seemed like businesses were probably scared that everyone had to go home, and they're
Mhm.
like, wait. They've been sandbagging us. Everybody's getting their work done. They're at home, so we don't.
Mhm.
It's kind of like EXP's like, we don't need offices. You
No.
guys you already have one at your house.
You're going to do everything.
Just do it there.
Yep.
I don't have to, we'll still pay you to 8 hours, but now
Right.
you want to be at this company more because now you really probably working like 4 or 5 hours and then doing more stuff with your family.
Right. Everybody wins.
I did a basement for a lady, and she was in healthcare, and she's like, I work from home. She was kind of like prepping me. She's like, you might see me like doing other stuff. I gotta run here. I was like, you don't have to apologize. Like, I get it. She's like, well, I gotta knock my day out in a couple hours. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, good for you. I'm like, dude, if you found a job that you can bust out a couple
Yeah.
hours and have the rest of the day to do stuff for the kids, that's
the best.
awesome.
That's the best.
Because everyone working, the wife and the husband working, it's tough.
Yeah. Yeah, you're talking, like I said, the transition times. You know, the daycares and the morning routines and getting out the house and all that stuff, man. That eats up a lot of your life when you look at the big picture. So I think that's a great thing. One of the only things that came out of that whole weird couple of years is companies learned we can run a lot leaner, still be just as productive. You know what I mean? So who knows what the next 10 years are going to look like to brick and mortar businesses. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I stared at an old building today. I was like, man, that'd make a perfect brewery. I think, a lot of businesses that work, they just need to adapt or die. Or the owner of it needs to look at it for something else that it needs to be.
Yep.
Something that the town needs. I think you would see with a lot of commercial buildings now or something like, what's a town need? It could be,
I mean, some sort of entertainment, right?
this town could take a ton of more entertainment.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing to do.
May switched it right up real quick there.
Yeah.
But no, you're right though, because
I'll go down a rabbit hole on anything.
Because there's no right, there's no less and less people are going to stores, right? They're not going to stores to buy things. Everybody buys on Amazon. You know, like I mean, there's a handful of things I needed in the past week, and every one of them was bought on Amazon.
It is
Because
nice.
I don't have
get it.
time to go get it. You know what I mean? Literally, it's seconds. You know, even if you shop and compare prices, it's seconds. It doesn't take no time.
It's scary.
So like,
who are we killing on that? You know?
yeah. Well, I mean, but you talk about like adapting or dying. A good friend of ours owns a little boutique in Dover.
Yeah.
And during COVID, they had to shut down. So she went to, Candace probably knows about this, Pam gets her all the time, the Bell Boutique. They do the comment sold. So she started this comment sold thing during COVID where she would just have an inventory, do a Facebook Live. And she would go through her inventory. Hey, here's this shirt, here's this necklace, these earrings.
I've seen
and then
people doing that.
people would just comment the number,
Yeah.
whatever, and then you buy it and she mails it to you. It did so well, she just shut her fucking store down.
I love that.
You know what I mean? So now she has her comment sold times, she has her website and all that stuff. So she was able to cut out how much overhead?
Yeah.
And completely crushes it.
Because it shows you, if you have something that people want, you don't need all the other stuff around it.
You don't.
Like, if people want to listen to us talk, that is the product. They don't need, we don't need to be.
No.
I look at some of the other podcasts, they got the lighting, they got all kind of crazy shit. I'm like, I don't think that, well,
some of that stuff would be nice.
Some of that stuff would be nice. Lighting. I mean, like, nice production, but like, as far as having like strobe lights and then the gimmicky, goofy stuff, you know, like, I don't need all that. Like,
it's not for dudes.
That's not for dudes.
Dudes have plywood walls.
Yes.
And dead deer hanging on the wall and. You know what I mean? Genuine Ford part signs.
Yes.
That's what dudes have.
That's what dudes do. Yeah. No, the COVID thing, yeah, that was, well, that, you know, so for a transition here to what the topic we want to go into is, I'll start with the real estate. So I saw a lot of divorces in the real estate once COVID started. I think maybe as much as a third or almost half of some of my sales started being divorces.
Really?
Because people were home more.
You find out you don't like them? You don't like each other?
You don't find out you don't like each other. Yeah.
Damn. Is that a good thing, you think?
I mean, look, I guess it's the way they view it. I mean, you don't have to waste your time, you know, especially if you didn't have kids together.
It just expedites the process.
Just expedites the process. I mean, I had that really did start, and couples being home more, and I think that whole mental, and then you see now the whole mental health issue. You know, people, not even, I don't want to say an issue as much as people just focusing on having good mental health, like actually having an outreach. Yeah. And people just to talk to.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Like, this is good for me, as I'm sure you, this is like therapy, this is great.
Yeah, we talked about that, I think right after the first time we recorded, the first episode, it was like, damn, that was like some pretty good therapy.
Yeah.
How easy and, it was to just have a conversation and really talk about shutting your mind off for a period of time. Whereas we know that, like, coming into this, I know, like, I got up at 4 a.m. this morning. So you actually texted me at like fucking 4:30.
Yeah, I figured you were up.
Yeah, so from then till now, I've got a chunk of stuff done for myself, went to the gym and all that, kids off, all that jazz, but also work started already too.
Yeah.
The phones, the emails all started, so like coming in here, you're able to shut that off for an hour or so.
That's
and
nice.
then, as soon as you leave, you go right back into it. So it is kind of nice to be in this space for just an hour, a little bit.
Yeah.
And not worry about work, think about work, talk about what you want to talk about, what you enjoy, and solve all the world's problems in our own dude ways, right? But now I think the mental health thing, super important, and also like knowing how to have the conversations or interact with people. Yeah. Learning about your partner, if you're cooped up, if you're not used to that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dude, that's been huge. That's the subject that I want to go into today. We'll call it the words of affirmation versus action. Mm-hmm. So I know in the timeline of where I'm at, I have a wife who's still breastfeeding. We have a 3-year-old kid. Yeah. She went through COVID when we had the kid.
Oh yeah.
So the last like 3 years have been a lot for her. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Losing the schooling, the breastfeeding, the first breastfeeding, which we learned the hard way. We went the hard way. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but the second time we got a breastfeeding coach.
Oh, nice.
The delivery, we did Cass did a natural birth too on her second one. She's a beast. She's an athlete.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah. 100%.
I would totally recommend that. The first one I go to the hospital, you know what I mean? Because you don't really know. But the second one.
Hold on a second. She didn't go to the hospital, the second one?
Dude.
You went to a birthing center, huh?
We were home 4 hours later.
That's right. I do remember you telling me about that now.
Oh, dude, it's the best experience. And we had a doula, too. So that's where I really saw, that doula was great. Women know how to talk to women. This is actually great for what we want to talk to. Women know how to talk to women. The thing, I'm so glad we paid for her, because I don't know how to. I'm such a dude. I'm so like, I was taught not to cry, be a tough guy. Yeah. But I have a woman at home, so I need to learn. I have to learn how to reach back in there and like, all right, she needs to know that. Yeah. So I do a lot of, right now I do a lot of, or was doing a lot of actions. Mm-hmm. And I thought the actions were speaking for me, but they don't. You're right. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, well, everybody's got a different language, receives things differently. And I don't think it's a cut and dry, black and white men and women, but I do think there's like, we have to learn how to communicate with our partners and know that men and women operate very differently.
Yeah.
For the majority of it, right? The most part, you know what I mean? And, you hit the nail on the head, right? Like, you're happy that you had that doula come in and there's certain things you don't know how to handle.
Yeah.
It's not that you don't want to know how to handle it. It's
I would
not
love
that you
to know.
Yeah, it's not that you care less.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I remember, Pam had two completely different births with Charlotte and Jerry, and Charlotte we were in a hospital, but it was all natural. She didn't take any meds, just a long
really?
20-hour labor.
She's in there being an athlete.
But 100% athlete. Jerry had some complications, had to do a quick emergency C-section. So she got to see both worlds of it, right? And I remember the first time as a man, you're in the labor room. You're helpless. You're not worth two farts in a windstorm.
And the women don't talk to you.
No.
At least when I was there, the women. I mean, I appreciate that. As far as like sales, I don't really talk to the husband. I talk to the wife because she's the one in control. I don't, you know what I mean? So
Right.
when we're in the hospital, they're like asking her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And you're like,
Yeah.
you care so much,
I don't know.
but you can't do anything.
Can't do
There's nothing you
anything.
can do. It
Yeah.
sucks
It
watching
does
your
suck.
wife be in pain. And you can't stop it. You can't change it.
Can't change
you can't. There's no words you say that are going to be good. Everything coming out of your mouth sounds like absolute, just verbal diarrhea. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're going to look like a dick. But like, man, I swear my heart's in it. I swear. I
swear,
hate
yes.
seeing you this way.
That happened a lot with Macon. He did not console with me.
Yeah.
When he was a baby and had like those witching hours, or was teething, like
Oh man.
I could not. I would try my damnedest to pick him up and walk him around, and sometimes it worked, but for the most part, man, just wanted his mom.
Yeah.
And I felt so. I would tell her like I feel so bad. Like
Yeah.
I know you want to break, and this is so much on you.
Right.
But unless like you want to keep him hearing his kids screaming, what are we gonna do? I don't know. What to do. I don't know how to like. I just wish he did. I wish he did console me. I would do it all. I would.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, there's a difference in a man, in a mom and a dad.
Yeah.
A mother by nature is going to be the nurturer.
Yeah.
It's just that's ingrained in us. You can't change it.
Yeah.
There's no way around it. I don't think. And I was there too. Especially we have moms that breastfeed. I can't. There's not much I can do. And
I watch the pump.
Yeah, I mean
That's like I watch the pump. I get that ready in the morning.
Yeah, it's like and some people say, oh, well, you got it so easy and you don't do anything. But like, it's not fucking easy to sit there and not do anything.
And
It's hard.
like while you're not doing something, you're like,
Yeah.
you're not gaining points.
No.
You're not. You're like,
Even if you can't help it, it does not help you to do nothing. But there's nothing to do. You know what I mean?
No, it is, man. It really is tough. And Candace, she's been a beast. I mean, she's had to get up in the middle of the night. Ellie's been a blessing. She's been a lot easier.
Yeah.
Candace says she's been easier, which
Nice.
has been great. But with Macon, especially like Candace is like with the whole school reverting during the COVID started.
Mm-hmm.
Having the school totally changed, and then having a newborn, it was.
Dude, I can't even imagine. Yeah, I'm thankful we missed that with the hospitals and everything. Jerry was born in 19, so we just missed it.
Yeah.
Fall of 19, thankfully. But we all got friends that went through it.
Yeah.
Being born in the hospital, nobody can come in there, and then being home and stuck and nobody working, and the schools, and both of our wives are teachers, and then going to like not being in school, and then virtual learnings where they're teaching, from home, and I'm trying to get work done. Kids are going crazy.
She's trying to hold a kid while doing the video. And here's the action part, right? I'm thinking blindly as a man because I don't think like a woman. I'm going, well, if I go to work and work hard and get some stuff done, buy some stuff that we need, she's going to be okay. She's going to look at me like, all right, he's doing his part.
Right.
Not knowing that she needs to hear that from me.
Right.
Knowing that, you got to come home and reiterate, like,
hey, you're doing a great job.
You're doing, dude, just a simple, you're doing a great job.
Killing it.
I'm assuming as a man, like, I'm thinking, like, as me personally, I don't need any rewards. I don't need to hear any compliments. I need none of that.
Yeah.
Which, unfortunately, maybe it's tough. I won't portray it sometimes because I'm thinking like a dude. I'm thinking like too much. Instead of thinking about.
Yeah, I think men are most happiest or feel the most maybe fulfilled. Happy has nothing to do with it, but I think fulfilled or feel to have something with a purpose behind it, and it's usually an action like work. I know if I'm slow at work, like there's a slow season in real estate, and if I'm slow, it's like it gets to a point where like it sucks. I don't feel fulfillment. I don't feel, you know,
laziness creeping in.
You would think it would be the opposite because you got a little bit of a break. You don't have to be up late, or you're not doing a lot of things on the weekends, or, you know, because I mean, I'm pretty much on all the time, but I find that when I'm in that, I don't like it. I don't feel fulfilled. I feel, you know, a little bit more, I don't know, like just not worthy kind of thing, maybe, for lack of a better word. But then when you're balls to the wall, and at the end of the day, you're like, yeah, I got after it, you know, and you feel that fulfillment. But yeah, there's such huge differences, all these little tiny spin-offs we can go from that. But get back to what you're saying as far as, you know, the way women receive, do I want to say praise? I don't want to say praise like, you know what I mean, in the traditional sense, but and then how men do it, there's some pretty significant differences.
There definitely,
and it's a challenge.
It is a challenge, man, and I you know, it's making a mental effort and to make sure that, you know, you are saying those praises, and you're being conscious to say it more often than you think. Like, you know, I think like we went through a little rough time because building this house, man. Like, so I had to go get even more work.
Yeah.
To help pay for this house.
Right. So, and work on the house.
And work on the house.
Yeah.
So it is very, very tough because, you know, you're looking at her, she's like, I need a break. I'm like, you also want the house.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you're bouncing on a razor blade.
Yes, you are, and you just don't know what to do. And the athlete in you is like, well, I got to get this work done.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I got to get this work done. So, you know, you check in with her, like, can I go do it, get it done? Yeah, but, you know, forgetting to though, you know, forgetting to reiterate, like, the praises and, like, you're doing good, you know.
Yeah. Or it's really just, I think there's no one size fits all for a man and a woman. I think it's more of like, do you know your spouse? Do you know what they need? Right?
Yeah.
Because like, Pam's not a real stereotypical woman. She's pretty easy. And I'm thankful for that, right? But there's still different things, right?
Yeah.
You need, and being in a marriage, and, you know, like, how long have you been with Candace?
It's probably been like
7, 8 years?
Yeah, but say at least, I think 7 years.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say years.
Don't fuck up now. Someone's gonna see this. So,
come on.
But like, no, like, so, and I, you know, Pam and I have been married for 10 years, been together for like 14, 15 years, and you're constantly, so learning your partner and then growing with them.
Learning a new partner as you evolve.
Because we all change, we all grow, mature, or whatever. We go through life changes and all that stuff. You know, throw kids into the mix, so career changes into the mix. Which in the past decade, you know, we have had, both of us have had career changes. Both of us, and we've marriage, career changes, and 2 kids.
Yeah.
So who we were in 2009, 2010 is not who we are today, right? So like learning, and I think that's the bigger part is like learning how to communicate with your partner and growing with them is really the key to it, right? Because there's this umbrella of marriage, and then what are we doing to like build that, to make it stronger and all that stuff? Because you know as well as I do, it's not there's no destination. It's not, we're here and we'll just hang out and we'll be here now and everything will be good and we'll throw all these other influences and cogs in the wheel, but we'll just remain the same. It don't work like that.
And to that, there's plenty of distractions to like the kids. Who's making that? Like, so there's a plenty of distractions to not have the focus on your partner because you're like, you're just trying to grab the kid. Yeah. You're trying to clean the house. Just little things, and you look at each other like, we should probably talk to each other. Like, not talk to each other, but you know, we should probably.
No, and I think that goes back to you have to have intention in your life. You have to have scheduled, intentional things built in because, dude, I don't know about you, but like Monday through Friday, it's madhouse. You know what I mean? From the time we get up, the routines, you know, she's got to go out the door before I do. So like, I got the kids in the morning, getting them crazies ready, breakfast, lunch is packed, all that jazz, work all day long, come home. Now it's like, all right, well, we're going to do for dinner. Jerry's got a game, or Charlotte's got gymnastics, and we're running, and then you get home. By the time you're home, 7:30, you got a late dinner now, or kids got to get bathed, and then now it's bedtime. Now it's bedtime, and we got our nighttime routines, and then it's just like the next day. So like having an attention, like you know, hey, we gotta go out to dinner, get a babysitter for Saturday. Or, you know, let's do this with the kids, or, man, I don't know about you, but this weekend is gonna be a rainy weekend.
Yeah.
And we don't have nothing going on. I'm welcoming it.
I'm on, the intentions is planning stuff. I did that. So I got a babysitter for Saturday. So we originally, without looking at the weather, we had planned like maybe on Monday. I said, look, let's not go to the beach this weekend. Let's go to the house, clean what we need, the old house, and get what we need, and let's just have a big moving day. And unknowingly to her, I was texting Deb Tiberia like, hey, can you babysit for me? You know what I mean? Can I get you on Saturday evening, because we'll move in all day, and then I was like, oh shoot, our anniversary's on Monday too.
Oh
I was
shit.
like, let me get that Monday. She's like, done. I was like, wait, I got a tennis match. I was like, damn it. I was like, all right, let me get the next available day. So I got it for Thursday. I was like, this is great. I was like, man, you know what? I need to have more intentions. Like, I have these resources available. Like, I just need to have that a more break, because, like you're saying, man, there's so much distraction. There's so much. Get the dinner, get the baths now. That, you know, I'm forgetting that. You know, she needs more of a break than I do. You know, because I guess with being self-employed, I do get my own little breaks. You know, I don't have to answer to no one. If today I didn't want to do anything else, I wouldn't do anything else.
Yeah.
You know, so I think I have enough of my micro little moments. I was like one little one. I was going to the gym, so I did before. I get to the YMCA at 5 a.m., which has been great. And I get my time right, and then I come home and I asked her permission and everything to do it, but what I wasn't noticing was the kids were evolving. Now the little one's getting up a little earlier, so and she's like, I'd like to have a little me time too. I'm like, yeah, you definitely deserve that. Like, so now I was like, well, cool. I was like, you know what? Then I just need to adapt. I need to learn how to work out in the evening, which I'm like, I don't know what time that's going to be, but so now I need to learn how to work out here in the little home gym.
Right.
So what I do is that's why I'm up that early to get ready to try to get to the gym, and I was getting ready to go there, but the little one, man, she woke up like 5:15. So I catch the kids now. So the new role for me is I catch the kids in the morning. She can go get a shower, do her hair, get that mental break, and that little thing. And like you say, like Pam's a little more, you know, easy or simple with some stuff. You know what I mean? She's the same way. If I just schedule fun stuff, she'll let me do it. You know, if she just gets a few of her little moments, she'll tackle it all. And so I catch those kids. She gets her morning, and dude, it's a much better day.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I feel like with men and women, especially a little bit more higher performing folks that kind of like get after it.
Yeah,
you don't need much.
Don't need
you know
much.
What I mean, I have about an hour every morning where it's not to ourselves, it's not to myself, but it's nothing has to go on. Right? If I'm home from the gym by 6:30 in the morning, and the kids don't have to start getting ready until about 7:30 or so, and you know Pam leaves about 6:45, we could just like let the kids chill, wake up, have a cup of coffee, relax, you know what I mean, and that's really nice way to start the day. You know, I'm not jumping into mayhem. My feet aren't hitting the floor, and I'm not jumping into mayhem. And I feel like that's, and the majority of the time Pam gets that too, because a lot of times the kids are still sleeping up until right before because Jerry's a little weird. He'll sleep in some days and get up early some days. Charlotte, she like sets an alarm, like because she'll sleep.
She sets an alarm?
Yeah, she'll sleep. Yeah,
okay, Charlotte.
Dude, I'm telling you, she will. I can't imagine.
She's already got my own schedule.
Dude, I can't imagine what she's gonna be like when she hits some teenage years where she got to sleep till like 11, 12. And good Lord, that girl can sleep. But yeah, so that little chunk in the morning and then the evening time where kids go to bed, we go right to bed when the kids do. If it's 8:30, we might not go to sleep, but we'll go in the room, kick back, turn on some old sitcoms on the TV. Right now we're watching Family Matters. Remember that Family Matters TV show?
The best.
Turn that on. We'll watch an episode or two of that. You just unwind, decompress. She'll be reading a book.
We just started having those moments.
Yeah, that's nice.
We've been getting. So the last house we lived in, we only had 2 bedrooms. So with 4 folks up in there, one's either awake and the other one, somebody's sleeping with somebody, like you know what I mean. Or I try to ride like the couch out, you know what I mean. So
goodness gracious.
So we're getting Macon will sleep by himself, but he wouldn't start by himself. So when when he got big enough, I started reading the books, right? I think like the first night I must have read like 12 books.
Yeah.
I remember I called Ryan. I was like, "How many books are you reading?" And he's like, "Nah, we got it down to like 2." I was like, "I don't know. I read like 12, man. That's
A night?
Oh yeah.
Jesus.
He likes books. But I'm like, this.
So he's still on going to bed.
He wasn't going to bed.
Yeah.
So I re-engineered that. But then when we moved here, I was like, Candace is like, he's got to go to bed by himself. I'm like, absolutely. I said, because I can't sit there with him until he falls asleep. I'm like, first off, I'm tired. I have no life. Like, I can't get stuff done. Just like, you cook the dinner, start putting to bed. That means I am no longer available to help.
Yeah.
So we just been like getting him to like go, like break that leg. He's sad about it. And he's so cute about it, man. You know, like.
Yeah. Big boy.
I'm like, dude, you're a big boy now. You're a big boy, you know, like you got your own room.
Yeah.
You go to sleep by yourself now. So we've been doing like, it's been getting better. Last night was great. He only came out of the room maybe 3 times. I mean, this is good.
But man, 3 times is a win.
That's a win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he like, but I like talking to him again. He's like, are you gonna go talk to Mom? I was like, I'm gonna go back out to my. Okay, when you're done, you come back in and lay with me, right? I'm like, you're a big boy. You sleep by yourself. He's like, okay, but then come back and lay with me. I'm like. You're a big boy. So like I closed the door and like, you know, but yeah, last night was great. And so we got a show now on Netflix. Her and I always have like at least a Netflix show.
Yeah.
Her and I time, you know. And I just looked there, I was like, yeah, we're back, baby. I'm like, this is great. She's like, it's 9:30 right now. We're watching our show. Right now you being there trying to get him to sleep. You know? I'm like, this is great. This is like that's a little big win. You know,
it is for sure. Do you think that sometimes those things are a little bit sad?
Hell yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, because if it's gone, like then that stage of your kids.
I'm sad now. You bring it up.
Yeah,
it is sad. And Macon is super sweet.
Yeah,
he's so cute about it. The one time, you know, because he's like, they're so smart negotiating.
Oh yeah,
they don't play you,
dude.
You think you're crazy. like when I was in a new parent, I was like, I'm going to see how far he'll go with, you know, these little lies, you know? And he just kept going. I was like, okay, the kids really do just keep saying, I need to go to the bathroom. I need water. I need to get, I'm like, he's going to keep going. So,
because they know you're not going to deny him water to go to the bathroom.
And he does go to the bathroom sometimes. That's a damn problem, dude. Dude, kind of go poop it like at bedtime. You know, I'm like, it has been going.
Yeah.
What the hell were we talking about?
That it's kind of like it's somewhat sad.
Oh, it is sad. Yeah, so because he was like one of his go-tos was like, I want family time. Got mommy in here too, family time. Like, damn, dude. I was like, but the athlete in me is like, I gotta do what's hard.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta break him of this.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, someone else needs me. And that's Candace needs me.
And he can't do that forever.
He cannot do that forever. Yeah. And plus, you know, I just tell him, and I think my thinking was, I was like, bud, we got adventures in the morning. So like, because when he gets up, he's ready to do stuff. We have like a little morning workout. Like, he gets on his bike, you know, gets play a little before we go because our morning is early. I have a 6 a.m. like Randy comes here at 6 a.m. We have a 6 a.m. meeting. So like I'll slide the kids in here with me now.
Oh, I could hear him this morning. We were talking pretty early, and I could hear him, bitching a little bit in the background.
Yeah. So we have a 6 a.m. meeting because I get Ellie to daycare by 7:15.
Yeah.
And then Macon is leaving with her right behind me.
Yeah.
So the morning is early.
Right. That is pretty early.
It is. It makes So
we don't have to. Like if I go to the gym at 5 a.m., I'm up at 4 and at the door at 4:30. But that's not stressful. That's not work. I'm not jumping into it.
Yeah.
You know?
I just got to be on the work sites. I got guys showing up. Some of my guys are like, I work in basements a lot, so a lot of times, I don't have to wait on homeowners.
Mm-hmm.
I have lock boxes and stuff, so some of my guys like to start at 7 a.m.
Yeah. I mean,
Cause I ain't saying no to that. I'm like, yeah, let's go.
No, you got to get it done.
Let's get it done.
Either you're going to do a long day or you're going to get everything done.
I have to get ready. Yeah, I have to get ready. And sometimes I have to go, sometimes we have to go to, I'll tell you what was another big one too, is like, before I had Rihanna, is one that was like really killing us is like, I would have to go to Lowe's and like be there like 6 a.m. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I have to look at Candace like, with being self-employed, it can be tough on families because it's not, some stuff is just not scheduled.
No.
You know, guys call you up, hey man, we just got a spot. Can I deliver drywall tomorrow? You're like, I can't say no. And it'd be great if you could deliver it tomorrow.
No.
But now my whole world shifts.
Yeah.
Now to look at Ken, she's like, do whatever you gotta do.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I remember,
you know what I mean? Like,
so like I've gotten to a spot in, you know, my business where I got it pretty much under control the majority of the time, and I've done away with a lot of the surprise things. I've been able to with just having, you know, the right folks around me. But I do remember when, you know, first getting ramped up right years ago, and you know it's happening when like the phone calls at dinner time, and if you're out doing something on the weekend, like the last minute changes, I gotta go meet, right? And I remember having a conversation with Pam, like, look, this is gonna suck for a little bit. I'm gonna do this now, and I'm gonna go balls to the wall right now, so in a few years we could back off a little bit, and we can, you know, we can start having some time, and just painting the picture and the expectation, like, this is not forever. This is a temporary thing. We're setting ourselves up, and I think right along that same time, you know, she's graduating with her master's, so life was fucking mayhem, and it's just kind of like, all right, we knew with each other, like, look, we're gonna do these things, set the standard, right? Have that communication, so later on we'll have the time, and now I don't have to miss, you know, t-ball games, or I'm not, you know, I will put something off now. If somebody, I'm not going to just jump right on it the majority of the time, especially if I have something planned. I won't deviate it, you know. So if I have, you know, I've got a whole lot this Saturday, so like if somebody called me up today, it's like, hey, you want to see a house tomorrow or want to meet, then I'll do it. Yeah. But I don't have anything planned. If I had a family day planned, I'm going to say, hey, look, can we just do this on Sunday, or how about tonight? Yeah. You know, I'll work around that. But I think the communicating, again, like knowing how to communicate that with your spouse, so when you're going through it, you've already set the precedent, right? And hopefully it doesn't cause a problem.
I definitely missed the mark a little bit.
Yeah.
I had the same conversation with Candace. I said, look, same thing, especially when we were doing the house. I'm like, it's just going to suck. Like, it's going to suck for everybody. It's really going to suck for me. Dude, I was having some really, really bad times, because I was like, so, I mean, we were doing a lot.
Yeah.
We're going fast. We're going to get it done.
Yeah.
And I had that same conversation with Candace, but I forgot to come home and do those little things. It's not like, you know, the little praises. Hey, you're doing a great job. And I forgot the affirmation, man. Yeah. So I think for other dads who are self-employed, if you guys put a plan to action, it needs to be reciprocated. It's like 50-50. You got a big action plan. You need to also have that big affirmation plan too for your spouse, to let her know you didn't just ditch her to go do like, you know, all this work, and like daddy's never coming back. Like, you need to, you know.
Yeah.
And just because you don't know, they're doing a lot. You think it's just, maybe for me, I'm thinking, it's just normal. We're all going through it, but she's going through a lot too. You know, with this damn kid, especially if her wife is breastfeeding.
Dude, the kids are a whole other monster, because you're right. When we have young kids and they only want mommy, you know, and like there's nothing you can do to make it right. And then on top of that, you know, our wives have their careers and have their own things.
Which has gotten tougher.
Pam's always in meetings, and she adds things, you know, like councils and different things she's jumped into to make her career, you know, better, or go where she wants to go. And then throw, you know, an upset 5-year-old in the mix that just wants his mommy to love on, and you know,
is tough.
You know, that makes it challenging. But again, you're like, man, my heart's there, but I can't physically do anything about this. You know? Jerry just recently stopped coming in our room at nighttime, talking about bedtime stuff.
Okay.
But he would never bother me. He would only bother her. He'd only wake her up, go to her side of the bed.
Well, I mean,
and I'm a fairly heavy sleeper, so I would just not even notice it.
Really?
Yeah. I just like,
I'm a light sleeper.
Because he wouldn't like make a big fuss about it. I would just like, hey, I'm thirsty, or can I get in bed with you? And then, you know, she moves over and like kind of gets like a shitty night's sleep, and I'm over there like, just,
you didn't even know what happened.
I didn't even know what happened.
You're waking up to, you didn't even know.
And
he was setting you up.
Yeah, he's fucking with me, man.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it is messed up. But actually, we kind of broke through with that. He wanted a big bed, wanted a big boy bed. So, no, he had like, what's the small one? Twin. Yeah. He had a twin, wanted a big boy bed and all that stuff. So it was just like, look, I'm not going to buy you a bed and all this stuff if you're just going to come to my room at night. So, You prove to me for 2 weeks, for 14 days straight, you stay in your bed.
Okay.
We'll mark a sticker on the calendar every morning. You can do that, then we'll get you a big boy bed. And homeboy made it.
Jerry's out there crushing it.
He went right away with it, and he picked out his new sheets and bedspread, American flag, big elk on it. It's pretty legit.
Dude, speaking of little stuff like that, making going potty, that was a big one for us.
Yeah.
Nice. We don't have that in the mix anymore because he was just not doing it. He was just holding it all day at daycare and then unleashing on us. You know what I mean? So, dude. And then one day he's like, I'm good. And then he just was like, yeah, I'm about pooping in the potty now. Like, this is my thing.
Yeah.
So
nobody likes pooping your pants.
Nobody likes pooping your pants, man. Like, it's not, there's finer things to do.
Mm-mm.
But that's been a big release. So I have one child we don't have to do diapers with anymore.
Dude. So I never had 2 diapers. Never had the Charlotte was way out of them before Jared was born, thankfully.
Yeah.
She was easy. Charlotte was easy, everything. Charlotte set us up to be heartbroken in certain ways with little Jerry, because the complete opposite. Charlotte spoke early, walked early, smart, easy, slept through the night pretty good, potty trained super easy. Jerry's the exact opposite. I mean, just, there was a point, I remember he wasn't really saying a whole lot, words. And we're like, something wrong? If you get him checked out?
Yeah.
And, Pam, the teacher in her, was like, let's maybe take him somewhere and have him, be looked at just in case there's something wrong we could do. I'd rather figure it out now than wait till he's in kindergarten.
Yeah.
And our daycare lady was like, no, he's fine. He's normal, and then we ended up taking him and they were like, no, everything's normal with him. This is how kids progress. You just had a daughter that went super early, and we don't know any different. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing as a parent.
I had that same thing. My brother always tells that story.
Yeah.
Actually, Candace learned this. She's like, you had a para in elementary school? I was like, dude, 3rd grade, I had a para. They thought I was deaf.
Really?
Because I never talked.
That's wild.
I never talked. I still remember a birthday party. He said his age. He said how old he. I just never talked.
Really?
I don't know, because I was just around adults all the time. I just never talked much.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's wild, man.
Yeah, I just never talked. It was when we moved down. When we moved from Newcastle down to here, I just never really talked much. So I remember doing so many hearing tests, and I always think why do I have to keep doing these? I had a lot of hearings. I didn't even know what was going on.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, my brother's like, this little asshole talks all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not deaf. You know what I mean?
He's playing you.
Yeah.
Dang. Yeah, I didn't know that. That's wild, man. But yeah, it's so crazy to think about all those, and it's fascinating too. I like thinking about the little things that are in our world, right? And as us as leaders of our family, when I say us, I mean us and our spouses, mommy and daddy, husband and wife, and then we have these little humans that we're responsible for, and then we have our own little economy that we've got to keep running, right, and constantly adapting and learning and helping and contributing, and all those little things. It is fascinating when you think about it. And I don't know about you. I go back to what's ingrained in our DNA. How long humans, us as we are right now, been on this planet for millions of years. You know what I mean? And it's only really recently, say the Industrial Revolution, right, 100 years ago, that we've seen some pretty significant changes in our world and what's
just from my grandfather to me. That's a lot of change.
Yeah, so you're talking a generation or two, and so the shit that's built into our DNA is there.
Yeah.
The mothers are the nurturing pieces.
Yeah.
The husbands are, the providers, and I think the battle comes from in society now that the mothers are just as much of a provider as the husbands.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And we want to be nurturers too.
Yeah.
But it's hard to do that.
It's hard.
And we can't communicate that with each other because we haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah. You see, and I think you have another big women's movement.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say women's rights, but just women's movement.
Mm-hmm.
I think going back to the mental wellness.
Mm-hmm.
You have the book that was written, the language of love or love language.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I bring up the words of affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
So I think men now are starting to look at ourselves like, okay, man, you know, we're warriors, but we also need to be.
Yeah, yeah, and I certainly do not think that we need to stifle like our providing and hunter-gatherer instincts.
We're just another piece. It's just another piece of weapon.
Yeah,
another
weapon. That's definitely.
We're just getting more weaponized as a better human.
Yeah,
as a better father, as a better husband.
Because I wholeheartedly believe that you need to lean into, you know, your manhood, and women need to lean into their womanhood.
They don't need us for that.
No.
You know.
No. And you know, like, just it's so we need women to be providers. And
there is roles, man. I think there's people that fight against what roles everyone's playing. I think there's some fight against that. You know, everyone's everyone's been equal as humans, but I think some of the roles work better with different.
Because it's what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be doing that.
What were Romans like? What was a Roman soldier like? This dude. I mean, do you think this dude? What was his affirmation game like?
Yeah, I mean, it probably was pretty terrible.
Probably pretty terrible.
Fucking sucks. Yeah,
probably pretty bad.
Yeah, but like he was probably a pretty good dad. Probably provided. Probably killed some people for his family. You know what I mean?
Like, just.
Yeah. So I don't. There's too much work and too much damage to be done to trying to go away from that as your role. If we're a man, our role is to provide and protect. You don't want to go away from that. And a woman's role to nurture, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to go away from that because I feel like it hurts the whole ecosystem of your family. You know, lean into it.
Yeah.
You can still do other things, but it's look, man, there's a lot a fucking woman does that I cannot do. You know, you talk about consoling your kids. You can't do it. You fucking suck. You're not built for that. That's not what they want. You know what I mean?
I don't.
Yeah. So, but like, also know that when it comes time to be a man and to do things like shoot and hunt and fish and gather and all those other things, like I'm going to come in to build up a little man. You know what I mean? I cannot be the equal nurturer as mommy. We can't do that.
We can't.
And it's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah,
that's what we want. Everybody's got their own weapons.
Yeah,
it's just harder now that you know both people are working.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
or single parents.
Gosh, could you imagine?
You can't. No, I can't imagine.
Dude, I always think about this. It's like you know, when cancer be consoling, right, and the kid's going crazy. I'm like, man, this brings a whole new level to a single mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then I'm like, well, what about a dad? Like, say, you know, unfortunately, let's say you got 2 kids and you lose your wife, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the nurturing game, like, what's that like? What is that like for a guy who doesn't? You know, what I mean,
I don't want to know. I hope I never have to find out.
Exactly.
You know
so I'm like, dude, these kids would just be a nightmare.
Yeah, I mean, Lord of the Flies shit. It would just turn into that. It would just be fucking mayhem. Yeah. No, that's but again, going back to like knowing your love languages, knowing how to communicate and what tools you have to keep growing with your spouse is so important, all while really leaning into your strengths as your role, right? Versus like arguing with it. Well, I want to be more of a provider. You can do both. You can do both. It's okay.
I'd say a big one for me too is just getting like the things I think she knows I'm thinking. I need to get that out of my head and verbally get it out too.
Yeah.
Because I'm feeling stuff.
I'm pretty bad at that too.
I'm like, you know, because she'll be like, she'll bring up something. I'm like, I feel that way. She's like, then explain it. I'm like, okay. I'm like, that's the role. That's. Ooh, so that's our nurture.
Yeah.
They got the nurture. So that would be our nurture.
Yeah.
It's like we need to nurture the wife, you know, the wife as far as getting what's here that we think they know about us,
right.
or you know,
not mine.
We do have feelings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We do have feelings, and getting those out more so that they know in those moments. I'm thinking about you all the time. All the time I'm thinking about you guys. You know what I mean? You know,
if you're really bad about it, about certain things or communicating, we have a mutual friend, Johnny.
Yeah.
He's all over the place too, every day. I mean, you talk about like business owner, entrepreneur, all that stuff. He's wide open from, you know, when he wakes up to when he goes to bed, and his schedule is always jam-packed full. And he has said, like, I'm so busy, he said, I have to, like, set alerts on his phone to text his wife, to like say something nice to her, or just check in.
Yeah.
Right? Because he gets so locked in on his day.
We're such athletes. You're so locked in, man.
So, and he's like, I don't want to do that. So if I have to set an alarm or set an alert to reach out to my wife and say hi, check in, how your day's doing, then that's what I'll do.
Yeah.
He's not ashamed of it. You know what I mean? Some people say, well, it's a shame you have to do it. Yeah. Oh, it's a shame you have to do that. Well, is it really a shame you have to do that? I mean, he's doing it, right? I think it's great. I don't have that. I have a little bit more time on my hands.
That's just admitting that, like, hey, look, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's not in our DNA to just be like thinking about it like all the time and make it happen.
But I want to do it.
But I want to do it.
So I'm gonna have intention to set an alert on my phone to make sure I reach out to you X amount of times a day.
Yeah.
And have a conversation or just.
If you really didn't care, you'd see the text like, nah, I ain't gonna. Whatever.
Yeah. No, exactly. Yeah. Or so it's like, well, I'm not. It's not that I'm intentionally not doing that. I get wrapped up, then boom, next thing you know, it's 4:00.
You know what's crazy too is I have another woman in my life. I also have Rihanna. I have a project manager who's a woman. I spend every day with her too.
Yeah.
So I'm learning all about. I mean, just you think you know women, dude.
See, I'm glad I'm more virtual. You know, I have a transaction coordinator that handles a lot of my stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't. You know, we don't have face to face. Open, you know, or an office, you know, just all it is
I have to dude, you gotta for me, you know, you have like the locker room joking, you know, we're in construction, dude, you know what I mean, it's all fucking jokes, all busting balls, busting ovaries, you know, whatever you're doing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, busting ovaries. So I have to watch them, like, I might be saying too much to her. Maybe, you know, she's a woman, so she might take some of that stuff serious, and we're just joking around, like, she's not a guy, you know what I mean, so I'm like, whatever, so, you know, that's actually been helping me in my own world. You know,
check yourself up a little bit.
Check myself up. I'm like, oh, maybe I'm treating Candace too much like sometimes like the locker room, you know, because we're so buddies, you know, like.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
A lot of women in my life, you know.
Man, there's a lot of ways to like to look at all those things and cut that all up. Yeah. But I think the most important thing is that you're aware.
I'm aware.
You're aware of it, you know, and that's the thing that I hope the majority of women out there, and especially the ones in my life, in your life, that you recognize that there's that the effort's there. We know we're trying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And and the longer you go, I think the better you get at it.
I'm a lot better now. I mean, there's probably some old exes on here like, damn it, Tom's finally got himself there. You know?
He's finally the man I wanted him to be.
Damn it, he's
yeah. Oh man.
I'll tell you what though, man. I got a story for you. When I lifeguarded, women are a very strong species, man.
Yeah.
They are super tough.
Like probably the strongest.
They are by far the strongest.
Yeah, not maybe not like physically, like picking up weights, but I'm talking like mentally,
dude,
and pain tolerance.
Maybe not for a one max rep.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you right now, when I lifeguarded, so when I went my rookie year of lifeguarding at the beach, you have to do intense. It's like written in there. You have to do 30 days consecutively of intense training.
Right.
And it is a lot. It's a lot like you do. There's no breaks. There's no fucking water breaks. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's and especially if you come from a football background, it's murderous.
Yeah.
Like we're about to run like 12 miles away.
Yeah, that's no man.
You know, because you're swimming, running. You know, while you're doing that, you're carrying a buoy over your head to make the run worse. You're doing a push-up pyramid, and I tell you, number one, there's a rookie of the year, and it's always between a man and a woman.
Yeah.
And that's when I really learned. Shout out to Kate DeMonte. Oh my gosh, she was so strong. She was yelling at me during a push-up pyramid, right?
Oh.
I'm all lactic acid out. All my muscles are shot. She's in there just.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then just get up and get ready to run. I'm like, and then like just going through. I'd never have gone through a camp or any sports where I have like it's like the training scene of a movie. I've never gone through that with a woman.
Yeah.
I've always been in sports with men.
Yeah.
This is my first time like, oh, we're doing this with girls. And then you learn like, okay, I'm not, these women are strong.
Yeah.
Dude, I got smoked to so much stuff.
Dude,
I'm talking about you think like I'm about to push, I'm gonna do all the push-ups.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm not. The last couple are women getting done.
Yeah.
And then you start learning like, oh, they're different on another level.
Yeah.
Like,
There's definitely strengths. I'm with you 100% on.
You train women now with CrossFit.
Oh, a lot. And
Yeah.
like the some of the strongest women mentally
Yes.
and like endurance wise are 100% women.
Yeah.
I did that 52-mile ruck last year from Dover to Dewey, and in our group it was the majority of them was women.
Yeah.
And you know, a couple guys I knew that dropped out, and very very few women did out of our group.
Yeah.
There was 160 something of us started and 33 finished.
Whoa.
And I would say the majority of them were women because mentally
That
they have it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I know the group I was with. It was me, my buddy Jason, and like 4 or 5 girls.
Yeah.
And we had a strong group. I think we had one girl drop out with like 8 miles left. Like we left Surf Bagel in Lewis.
Yeah.
And we just had to go to the rudder. And
Did you fill up with the surf bagel?
Bro.
What'd you get?
Sausage egg, I'm sorry, scrapple egg and cheese
Oh,
on an
scrapple.
egg bagel.
An egg bagel.
Took a big dump in there. We were there for like 45 minutes.
Apologize to Surf Bagel for.
Pounded a Gatorade.
Uh,
But it was the getting started again. She just couldn't do it. Like
Yeah.
her feet were shot, and we were like, "Oh, come on, don't quit! Don't." We're right there, 8 miles. I mean, you're talking, and we were moving pretty slow at that point. But you're talking under 2 hours, you're done. And but yeah, she wouldn't do it. But I know at the end of it, one girl, Angie, absolute monster. Lost all her toenails, like
Did she?
nerve damage in her
just on
feet.
that walk?
Yeah, I mean, 52
Yeah, I know.
52 mile rock with
the
a
first time my
weighted
brother
bag.
took me on a 10-mile run, my fucking toenails are black
Yeah,
and blue.
yeah. I lost 2 toenails. She lost all of them.
I didn't know it happens like that.
Yeah, she didn't lose them there. She lost a couple during, but then had to get cut out like later on, like days later.
Oh, you tried to get me to do that? I ain't.
Dude, well, that's just like,
foot. I'm glad I didn't do that. Been
no,
there.
yeah. People are like, "Oh, you gonna do it again?" Like, no, I did it once. That's it. I you know, I wanted to do something hard and prove that like I was still
Yeah, I
mentally
like
tough.
that. Yeah.
And I did it. And that's cool. But like, dude, it's weeks of recovery of your feet, and I can't afford to be out for weeks. You know. But no, like the point being, these women grinded it out. You know, nobody complained. Yeah, there's just like there's men that bitch and moan, there's women that bitch and moan. This group of people, straight up athletes, you know, and no bitching, all smiling the whole time. That's what we work for each other, you know. But yeah, to basically, you know, shows you right there because that's all mental. There's some physical aspect to it, but dude, 90% of it is mental.
That's the problem. Mile 10, you're like. Even mile 5, you're like, it's fucking mental. I'm sure.
No, they got real bad around the halfway mark. I would say between 25 and 30 miles.
When you make it to Milford, you're like, we have to go to the beach still?
Yeah.
Probably after a first break, big
It was
break.
it was legit. It was Milford because we left Dover, we stopped in Magnolia, and then our next stop was Milford. And by then it was like the middle of the night, and we're you checkpoint at the firehouse in Milford. And then you kind of get going. Then it was a big stretch. It was like 17 miles until the next one, which was in Milton, the fire hall in Milton, and that like sun was starting to come up, and so you were at mile like 32-ish at that point. Dude, it's fucking brutal to get started again. I mean, just you're moving at a snail's pace until your feet get loosened up and everything like that, and then you're just grinding it out with your people, you know. And then our next stop was Surf Bagel in Lewis, and then we finished out at the rudder, walked right into the bay. I remember I was afraid to take my shoes off because I didn't want to see what my feet looked like, and I didn't want them to swell up. I just walked right into the bay, like laid down in the water, nice and cool.
Well, you know, talking about the strong women thing is it just reminded me I think about that. I probably don't need to talk, which I should. Is that dude when like. The little things, she's super strong at the things I'm not good at. Like she'll get right up and get into something. Like she like if the baby's crying, she gets up.
Yep.
And if she was up all night, she gets right up and gets the kids dressed and all that. Where I am not. I am sluggish. I'm slowing it down. And she just like she's so strong mentally, man. She gets up, gets it done, like gets them around. Like I'm like damn, like. But I'm back there dragging ass.
I think all those things, right? What you talked about, what I talked about, the mental toughness, the pain tolerance.
Yeah.
That's ingrained in their DNA. Like they have to be that way to, be pregnant for 9 months, to go through labor, because up until however many years ago, a handful of decades, there was no pain medication.
No.
You know what I'm saying? There wasn't like you're just in the house in the bed.
Back then, they would have like 7 kids.
You're just, yeah. So like a woman is built to have that pain tolerance, to have that mental toughness.
They're tough. They're the toughest.
And they,
they're the toughest.
They are. So it's like, it is really fascinating to know, like, you're built for that. Like, those women are built, and I don't think that's leaned into enough anymore. I think they've kind of forgotten it.
They talk about how fragile a woman could be sometimes. You're saying like they don't talk about how strong.
But I also think like a woman today that's that had a kid or two or is of childbearing age, they don't know their great great grandmother or their great 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 grandmother that had 14 kids in a cabin with nothing. You know what I mean? And like to know that how tough you really are.
Because they don't even know their ceiling.
They don't even know. Yeah, and I don't think that's talked about or celebrated enough. It's too much of like, oh well, can a girl do it, or did a woman do it?
Not talked about enough. How so then maybe we can do something to as far as with our own little microeconomy to help celebrate these women as far as like they're like their lineage of toughness. Yeah, toughness. You know what I mean? Like as we talk about as men. Mm-hmm. We should also bring our wives in, like, this is their toughness. You know what I mean?
I will say, I do say that to Pam all the time. I know how mentally tough she is. I know how much pain she could take. I have a high tolerance for pain. People say I'm strong mentally. I just say I'm stupid. I just ignore it. You know what I mean? But dude, she's just as mentally tough, if not more, than I am.
I see it with Candace with breastfeeding and making, man. Yeah. She went because we don't know. So she did the whole thing. She didn't do it wrong. She just like there was a lot better ways that would have been easier for her. Because when we went to breastfeeding coach, without getting into details, like the breastfeeding coach was like this is the way, like, got a nipple shield, you know what I mean? Like, this is going to be a lot easier. It was so much less pain.
We went to the nipple shield, too.
Yeah.
Same thing.
But the first one, she was all just, like, rough and tough, dude. Yeah. And literally was just, like, going through it. I'm just like, damn, man. Like, and first off, feeling helpless. Right? Just feeling helpless. I can't help her, right? You know what I mean? Yep. And then 2, looking at her like, damn, she's strong, man. Because, like, she's got to keep doing that. And the nipple's already raw. That baby's going back and latching on. I felt how strong a baby can latch. If you just think, dude.
Yeah. We would have gave up.
Because
what we would have done, because we're wired to problem solve.
Yeah.
So we would have just figured out an easier way.
Yes.
We're problem solvers. We're just going to figure out the easier way. It was tough. All right, I tried it. I'll just go a different route. That's what I think. That's what a man would do in that situation.
And Candace is that's what I love about her. She's very goal oriented.
Yeah.
Like she wants a goal, she's hitting it. And, she as far as like she has mom goals. Mm-hmm. So like right now, like she's hitting like she was not going to quit breastfeeding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? While other girls were dropping off, she's like, I'm going all the way with this.
Yeah.
Just like Ellie, she's like, I'm going all the way. I ain't quitting, even though, if it gets tough, she's like, I ain't quitting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's got really good mom goals. And she I love it because she's like an athlete, man.
Yeah. That's awesome.
She's hitting those goals. So proud of her for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's incredible. What time is that?
I don't know.
Yeah, we got to wrap her up.
I feel like I can do 400 more of these ASAP.
Yeah.
I love these podcasts.
I do too, man. And I also think the timing is good, right? So, like, maybe somebody could tell us if you're watching this. Do you like long form content better or the shorter stuff?
Bitch, I ain't getting a gimmick. I'll kick you out of this cabin right now.
No, but I'm saying, like, how much time does somebody have, right? But you're right. The conversation can just keep going and take the little shoot offs and all that stuff.
It ain't about them. It's about me, man. Okay, this is for me. My therapy. Yeah. No. I mean, I'm sure everybody. I'll tell you what. I actually learned is a lot of people don't know podcasts. Yeah. I took for granted, like, because
I don't know podcasts. I don't know. Just
Well, I'm saying as far as like you listen to them.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people are like, I never listened to a podcast. I'm like,
dude.
So I underestimate people actually. How many people don't listen to podcasts?
I listen to a lot of them.
Yeah, same here. But everyone I think there's probably a lot of first timers on there.
Hopefully,
and maybe we can see comment section. They'll let us know. But like, a lot of people just. It seems like we're also probably introducing a nice local introduction of like doing podcasts and they can branch out. And,
No, I like that.
I know Rihanna, my PM, she was like, I've never listened to one. This is my first one I ever listened to. She's like, I like
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's wild.
I was like, I gave her a couple more she should listen to,
Yeah. Now they're great for anything like education or just straight up entertainment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like, or like anything that you like. Dude, you know how many like hunting and fishing podcasts there are? They just like talk about different things.
I think because for me, I can talk with it while they're talking. Like I can relate to it.
Yeah.
I kind of have that same conversation with myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's nice, long, drawn out. You get the full view, and I'm sure for viewers, you know, for us, they probably love hearing from people that they know, hearing a long, drawn out conversation.
Yeah. Because we don't, like, I mean, to be real, we don't get to have these types of conversations with everybody.
And no one does.
It's not that you want to.
Everyone's busy.
Yeah, you don't have time to, and then when you get together, you're not going deep into things, you know, a lot of times, but...
I wrote some notes down secretly, but I think we pretty much, we have hit those. There's only one I didn't hit, but we can hit it another time.
All right.
I was going to go over like the roles, what your role is in your family, like stuff that people like who cooks and all that. But
you can do that quick. So we both do a little bit of everything.
Okay.
I do the majority of the cooking. Believe it or not, I do the majority of the cleaning.
Okay.
And I think that's more because I have the time, right? I can set aside an hour or two on Friday and knock out some cleaning things. And so when she comes home at 4 or 5 o'clock, and it's on a Friday night, we ain't gotta do anything. We don't gotta worry about this, right? What her strengths are, laundry for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely grocery shopping. I fucking hate grocery shopping. I hate laundry.
Love it.
Don't ask me to go find something. Like, my grocery shopping is like, all right, what do I want for dinner? I'll go get that. I go get those things, and that's it. And I come home. She's like good at like keeping a list and going out and doing all that stuff, right? Keeping up with laundry, keeping up with the kids' stuff, right? Making sure Jerry's uniform's ready for T-ball, and like very, very good at those things. So we share those domestic roles, like pretty equally. I feel like we gotta have our strengths. But and I'm also more particular about clutter and things being straightened up. Like, man, I can't relax when like shit's cluttered up in the house. I just cannot fucking do it. So so like I'll have some time and I try to knock those little things out so we don't have to worry about that later on. You know what I mean? So it makes our time better. You know what I mean? But yeah, how about you?
I do all the cooking, same thing as well. What's my mom? She finds crazy. That's a whole nother generation away.
Yeah.
She was like, I can't believe all you men cook.
Yeah, I love it.
I love the grocery store. That's like, actually, I take Macon with him because he knows he gets a snack.
Okay.
But he's good. He's good now. He can sit there still and everything. But yeah, I love it. Like right now, the food kitty, I can walk you down the aisles right now and tell you where everything's at just by sitting here. I love the grocery shop. I guess because too, that's like going back earlier, that's like a me moment, like a little relaxation going there. I go for everything. So typically, the role is so that we don't mess up the week like I did this week. It's messed up, so like, we had to eat out because typically, this was Can's idea, which works nice. Is I'll buy everything on Sunday. I'll buy all the proteins. I'll grill everything. That way, I'm not sitting there grilling, taking all the time to cook. So then all I gotta do is the little vegetables and whatever have you in between there.
That's so smart. Yeah.
It wasn't my idea. It was my wife. So
that's so smart.
As far as laundry, she does all the kids. Because I honestly, I don't even know where the stuff is most of the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
I just I'm more the wrangler.
Yeah. Where's Charlotte keep her pants at?
Yeah. And she evolves, so sometimes it changes. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then as far as cleaning, I definitely I like to get I'm pretty good about cleaning as I cook. And so I'm really big on that. And then I do we share dishes. She definitely, I haven't touched the vacuum in a while, that's for sure. She's good at that. She's good at that,
Yeah.
Yeah, she's good at cleaning with the vacuum. No, she does actually. And recently, it's tough because now we moved, and the cleaning rolls are probably equal. I handle my own laundry. I'm such a bum because I'll wear the same pants dude, I work in construction.
Yeah. You just take the jeans, you hang them on the edge of the hamper, so they're only part dirty. You got a couple days.
I'm going to get dirty tomorrow. Yeah. No, and then she hates the fact she's like, I bought you this shirt. She's like, could you please not stain it tomorrow? You know, you're like, you not get paint or something.
Every shirt's a work shirt.
Every shirt is a work shirt, man. I have been setting aside shirts that do not go to work with me.
Yeah.
Stuff that's nice. As far as like that, I do, the yard work, any of that little stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, the outside stuff is definitely all me.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But it sounds pretty equal.
Pretty equal.
Your
And we're
household.
still learning because we've now just got a whole house now.
Yeah.
Now we don't, because before where we lived, like the living room was also the playroom, which was right next to we were practically in the kitchen. It was like a little studio.
You were in an apartment. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a mess. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
And I feel like we're still not out of like easier roles because the kids are so small. Like we're still balancing so much that like I feel like in maybe another year or two, like with the kids a little bit bigger, then the roles will be even easier. So because then we have time to just like we can both go this way.
Yeah.
One of us has to be here. One of them. Right now, one has to be the HQ, headquarters here, and one can do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely changes and shifts depending on what season of life you're in.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the cool thing about today is like, if your role at your work changes to something else or your schedule shifts a little bit, then I'm going to pick up these things.
Yeah.
And if I can't do this, then you're going to pick up these things. And that's the whole part of like communicating, knowing your spouse, growing with your spouse, and like it's setting the expectations for your little economy. You know what I mean?
Take care of my little economy. That way, my little economy can hang out with your little economy.
Yeah.
Stress free.
Live in harmony.
Live in harmony.
Yeah.
You want to wrap this up?
Yeah.
Hey, also, well, we can talk after whatever. Yeah, let's wrap this up.
Okay.
That's the third one down, man.
All right, here we go. Get it up. All right. See you.